as a wrestling fan, we all want to have something to talk about. Something, we all want our own type of show. Some of us like the gimmicks. Some of us like the hostile takeovers. Some of us like the straight up wrestling. Some of us like the interpromotional matches, interpromotional shows. But you look at it like this: Bound for Glory, people complain about it. Why complain about it? You know why. You know why. It's obvious. Bound for Glory was one purpose, purpose only this year: to put Wrestle One on the map, to put TNA on the map. Two separate companies, two separate countries. Absolutely the reason why we had Bound for Glory this year in Tokyo, Japan, was to put over Wrestle One for the U.S. crowd. Because let's face it, we here in the U.S., we don't know those guys over there. A lot of us who enjoy professional wrestling, real professional wrestling, actual professional wrestling, not gimmicks and jokes and dance around like you're a monkey on a stage drinking wine that you drink every single morning on your own freaking show. But that's okay. Breakdance of bunnies, it's okay. As long as we don't take a TNA show, TNA pay-per-view, and mix it with a Japanese crowd and a Japanese town and a Japanese wrestling company. That's how it's sounding like. It's like no matter what TNA does, they're not good enough. Oh, you've got the biggest show of the year and you ruined it. You had so many opportunities. So much you could have done with it. And you ruined it. Not really. Not if you look at, they were introducing Wrestle One. They've talked about it. We've seen Sonata. We've seen Muda's still going in the ring. Tajiri just signed with Wrestle One. But then we have guys like Ethan Carter and Spud and Joe and Aries and Bobby Roode going over to Japan and wrestle for them. That's only a few that we swap back and forth. Why not do an interpromotional, think about this, an interpromotional show, Bound for Glory, Japan, Wrestle One, TNA, United States, introduce both companies, both wrestlers, or both talent from both. That's what this is about, representation. We represented, TNA represented TNA. Wrestle One represented Wrestle One. They had TNA versus Wrestle One. If you watch the show, instead of just pissing and moaning about it, then you would know that this had a theme to it. We already seen a series. No, we didn't see a World Heavyweight Championship series, but we seen World Tag Team series, and it was all about TNA. We had the Dudleys versus the Wolves versus the Hardys, two old school tag teams who are in history right now as being the two of the greatest. We all know how much I love the Dudleys. We all know how I rank the Dudleys up there, right there with the Road Warriors, and it's hard to not. And then you have the Wolves that are rising up. We already know them from ROH. Which, speaking of ROH, why is it okay that ROH, Ring of Honor, and New Japan Pro Wrestling can do War of the Worlds and nobody bitches about it? They do interpromotional matches and events all the time, but nobody seems to have a problem with it. You know why? Because those fanboys, those people that watch those shows, who don't talk about it, don't watch the shows. They don't pay any attention to it. They're like, oh, indies, we'll just let that go. But where do you think Prince Devitt came from? Where do you think Kevin Steen came from? Where do you think AJ Styles came from? Where do you think Bo Dallas came from? Where do you think Roman Reigns came from? Where do you think John Cena came from? John Cena only has 4 or 5 moves, and he's WWE champion every day. Or you have Brock Lesnar, who is a part-timer, Mr. One-timer. All of a sudden, he's not going to defend his title until WrestleMania, probably. Who knows? When was the last time he wrestled and defended his title? Bobby Lashley. Every single week. People complain about Eric Young, but yet he defended his title every single week. Daniel Bryan, they gave him the title. Unfortunately, he's hurt. Nobody really knows the exact extent of his injuries. We know that he's had surgery, and they're talking about another surgery which might put him out for the rest of his life. Which, as a mark, I'm saying I'm a mark, that kind of saddens me a lot because of the talent that Daniel Bryan has. But he's served his time. He's put in his time. He's done. Where do you think Daniel Bryan came from? He's come from Japan. He didn't come from Japan, but he wrestled in Japan. Tajiri, the Great Muta, Rayada Hama, I said it wrong. I'm sorry, but I'm not stopping here. 6 minutes in, I'm not doing this again. Listen. All I can say is either you like the show or you don't like the show. If you got a problem with the show, don't watch it. Don't watch TNA anymore because you had a problem with Bound for Glory. That's it. You can't bitch about it because it was an introduction of Wrestle 1. It had an indie feel. It had a sold out crowd. There were so many people there. They sold out seats. People were standing to watch the show. I personally would stand for 3 hours and watch the show. I must have held my piss, didn't take a piss break for 2 hours. And I drank a lot of coffee. By the time I went, and I stopped it. Like, if I'm watching a Diva match, which I don't, but when I did, that was my bathroom break. I watched Havoc destroy Velvet Sky, but that interests me. Maybe I have a different taste, a different feel, a different want to what I want to see in professional wrestling. I don't want to see breakdancing bunnies. I don't want to see old ladies dancing around drinking fake wine. I want to see a title defended.
Not yet, no.
Maybe not every week, but every other week. Every week would be perfect. Every night of the week, defend that title. Go for it. Don't do this. Don't do this. I'm going to give this guy a title, and I'm going to make him wait. Do you see this? This is the reason why I stopped watching WWE. The reason why people don't like TNA is because they don't have that stuff on there. Because TNA, they're wrestlers. They're not actors. We all know that they're terrible actors. We all know that some of those people that acted, that were in the Bully Ray drama, like Brooke Tessmacher, you don't ever see her anymore. And then you have Brittany, who's Sam Shaw, clitoris. You get the point. There's no gimmicks going on there. You just see terrible acting. And I admit it, terrible acting. But you put Brooke Tessmacher, you put Brittany, you put Velvet Sky against the Bella Twins, you put them against Paige, you put them against AJ Lee, and I guarantee they run through them like a knife through hot shit. Bottom line. You take Bobby Roode and you put him against Dolph Ziggler, and Bobby Roode will destroy Ziggler. It'd be a good match. I'm not going to lie. It would be a good match. But it would be Bobby Roode would come out on top. Put Havoc against Tamina Snuka. She'll run right through. She'll run to Havoc would run right through Tamina Snuka. That's it. I could keep going on, but now I'm just wasting time. Listen. Bottom line is, if you're not gonna watch the shows, don't bitch about them. If you're gonna catch clips of them, bitch about the clips that you see. Don't bitch about the show, because bottom line is, really at the end of the day, when you look at it, you got WWE is going down slowly, and TNA is rising up. They just signed their 6th, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 TV deal overseas. Oh, but Ratman, they're not signing a TV deal in the United States. Oh, you stupid person, you. Okay, I'm not pointing anybody out. So, I'm just going to say, you make yourself sound ridiculous when you question it. What you don't know is, they're signing deals. They're negotiating. That's not something that you can just get overnight just because your name is TNA. Well, if you put it at tits and ass, you might get a porn deal, but it's not. This is total non-stop action. WGN, MTV, TNT, Spike TV, TV. It doesn't really matter, but somebody's gonna sign TNA. It's a matter of money. It's all about the Benjamins. I'd hate to say it, but logically thinking, it's all about the Benjamins. TNA's product is getting better. Yes, 3 years ago their product was dry. 3 years ago, a year ago, Aces and Eights gimmick. Come on, that was terrible. They went dry, but they kept me going back. I watched it every single week, and I pissed and I moaned about it every single week. Oh, it's a hostile takeover this and a takeover that. Yeah, I seen that, and I did complain about it, but I didn't stop watching it. You know why? Because I'm true to the game. That's it. I don't watch WWE anymore because they're putting titles on guys who already have held the titles, or they're putting titles on guys who only wrestle half the time. What about Rob Van Dam? Rob Van Dam puts on way more shows than Brock Lesnar, and they make him wrestle. There you go. See, so I'm going to bitch about it, but I don't watch it, and there's a reason why I don't watch it. There's a reason why I don't. But don't complain about Bound for Glory because it didn't have the storylines that you wanted. Who cares? That wasn't about storylines. You had some storyline matches there. You had Havoc versus Velvet Sky and that match was already signed before Madison Rayne won. What, you want to take Velvet Sky out of the match and throw Madison Rayne in there? Okay, I would have been okay with that too. Maybe move Velvet Sky's match to Wednesday. But no, the matches were already signed. You already have your card. You already have it. You already have it made. And you had the Great Muta and Tajiri versus James Storm and Sonata. That was already there. The drama at the end of the match, that was already there. So there's your storylines. Samoa Joe, his storyline is he's X Division champion. He's willing to defend that title, just like Austin Aries did. Defend the title anywhere, anytime against any comers, and he defended against 3 comers, and he beat every one of them. So, okay. Rant's over. Comment below. Please, comment below. Like my page. After I've insulted just about everybody who complains about TNA. What are you going to do when WWE goes away? You're going to go to TNA and you're going to watch it. And you're going to bitch about Ring of Honor. Just don't bitch anymore. Just don't do it. Definitely don't bitch about something when you know for a fact that the show you're going to watch the next night is going to be 1,000 times worse. That's it. Be pissed off, but that's it. This is Ratman Rich Fulmer, and this has been Rant and Rave.